Je le savais. Je le savais très bien. Mais je ne sais plus rien.
Sure you want to vote? For my husband, I'm like, are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's like, he's saying he's going to deport criminals. You're not a criminal. Every time we go to ICE, they tell you, Mr. Juarez, your wife is no criminal. He voted for him, and now he's deporting his wife. They kick me out. They breaking my family apart. Before you enlist in the military, think it twice. Before you marry an immigrant, think it twice. Think it if it's really worth for you to sell this country. For my husband, I'm like, are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's like, he's saying he's going to deport criminals. You're not a criminal. Every time we go to ICE, they tell you, Mr. Juarez, your wife is no criminal. He voted for him, and
What's up, y'all? Man, I had to play that because I was thinking about that earlier today. Anyway, man, it's your man Obi. How y'all doing today, man? How are y'all doing today? Me, alright, good as can be. Been a pretty busy day for me again. Uh, let's make sure this stuff is off here because we don't want that playing. We have. Why do we have so many of these on here? What is going on? Okay. Uh, Pretty sure that was a chaotic start. I did not know the music was still on. Everything's kind of going bananas. Trying to see what I sound like. And now my damn earphones don't want to cut on. So if you hear a little bit of echo in the background, that's probably me and my phone. Just trying to see if I got that ugly echo that I usually have. Testing, 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 testing. I don't think I was on either. Well, we'll see here in a minute. Oh my God. And I started this a whole hour early just to see. Okay, here we go. Man, I'm sorry about that, y'all. That is a good way to lose people really fast, to lose attention really fast, to not have your thing together. I am really sorry about that. Kind of threw myself off here. Trying to figure out where I got extra stuff going on here, man. It's just going crazy today. So let's get our setup together here. Let's get our setup together here. Uh, I gotta fix my green screen, man. Everything is, yeah, everything is acting wild today. But anyway, man, let's get this thing cracking, man. Like I told y'all, man, I'll be having them struggle streams, man. We gonna get better though. We gonna make it. Like my man Jada said, we gonna make it, man. We gonna make it. It's Friday, right? Everybody getting to the end of the week. I don't know where you at, but here it's cold as hell. Uh, let's see here. Let's get that back from behind there. That why is there so much stuff open? Oh my God. Okay. Oh man. Uh, let me see here. Yeah, I should have tried this. I should have got this stuff together way before. You can see my background. Everything is going crazy today. Y'all don't mind me though. We gon' like I said, we gonna make it. We are going to make it. So even if I have to get my mug off of the camera. Um, where am I at? Yeah, like I was saying, man, it's Friday. I don't really have a real serious show. It might not even be all that long. Just a couple of things I wanted to go over. And plus, you want us to keep yourself in the algorithm. I'm trying to get people to start tuning in. But uh, with the beginning of the show being crazy like that and my camera looking like this right now, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see here in the large cam. Yeah, so this week, man, one of those CEOs, man, somebody got to him. Which when I heard it, I thought it was kind of weird because I thought those guys were really big on. I thought those guys were like really big on protections. Okay, there we go. Oh, that is bad. Wow. So it doesn't look like that up here. Why does it look like that there? Let's see what I look like here. Because I'm looking crazy right now. Yeah, but like I said, he wasn't supposed to. I thought those guys had like a whole lot of. Let's see here. I thought those guys had a bunch of protection, man, but I guess they don't. Somebody was able to walk right up on that man and do him in like that. And I think that's crazy that that happened like that. And he did not have the protection that I thought they typically had, you know. So we're gonna get into that a little bit as soon as I can get my stuff together. Is this making it worse? Yes, it is. Turn me from green to black, all the way to black. Okay, now I'm disappearing. This is the stuff you're supposed to have ready before the show comes on. All right. So let's try this because this is really low. See if we can smooth it out some. All right. Yeah. Let's get it a little bit brighter. Should not be making adjustments on the fly, Cooper. Now, now we got this. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is why I have to change because when I look at it here on my screen here, when I look at here on my screen here, okay. Oh my God, should not have been that hard to get that together. Like I was saying, man, um, those guys are typically protected, man. I thought they had like a security detail that they would have walking with them or something, or but apparently not. So now a there are talks being had about getting these guys protection. Now, one thing that I find find funny um, is the level of importance that these people have risen to when they really don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't really do anything. They sign a lot of paperwork. They make a couple of decisions, but most of the hard work is being done on the ground. Um, but the one of the most disturbing things that I've seen is like the general celebration of somebody getting done like that. Now, I find it strange that we'll have talks about let's say black on black violence. We'll have a talk about that or some shit like that, or we'll have a problem there. We'll want to talk about that, but at the same time, these same people who don't have any problem celebrating the violent death of someone else. So I'm just like all the way around. You need you. I can't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say you need to because it's not my place to tell anybody what they need to do. But in my opinion, if it was me, you know, in what I do, I wouldn't be relishing in somebody like losing their life. You know, what I'm saying the that's just weird to me that people celebrate that in a manner that they celebrate it in. Um, I know that healthcare, um, healthcare CEOs, healthcare in general, big pharma aren't exactly the most popular people because apparently, I mean not apparently, but we all know that they've done a lot more damage than um, anything else. Um, I just think that's I just think I'm watching people celebrate somebody. That's like the second or third time I've seen some people celebrate another person's passing because you know, not because these people had really themselves, you know, went and took people out. You have to remember that this man is only the CEO, so he has to answer to other people, and it has to be a collective group decision on things. He's just the person who signs it and sort of like the face, um, which is, you know, we all know that United Healthcare, they got a bad reputation. Um, I think that was the one that I had for insurance, and they got canceled at a bunch of hospitals around here because of stuff that they were doing. So it's been an ongoing thing with United where they have been having a lot of issues, probably with their policies and um, just greed in general, which is this is what led to um, uh, this guy's demise. So you know, CEOs have generally been, um, in general, CEOs have been protected for the most part. They haven't went through. We haven't seen this a lot. I mean, you know, there's always been this sentiment of there's always been this low level of like hatred for those people, but me personally, I hadn't seen anything like this before. So um, I don't know if this is a gonna be a one off, or if you know you're gonna have a set of people try to make this out of precedent, man. Um, it's wild times because people going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can attest myself. I'm in the middle of the healthcare industry right now. I'm going through a couple of things myself that causes me to have a lot more interaction with them than I would care to have. And I'm thankful that I'll have the level of insurance that I have because for what I go through for my issue, it's not nothing about it is cheap. Um, which is to me, it's always been weird because you know one of the things that one of your rights as a human should be your right to be healthy and to be able to get the things that make you better. Um, but for some reason, uh, they found a way to make a profit off of that. So in turn, by making profits off healthcare and people's health, um, the bottom line becomes the number one priority and not the patient. Um, that's why we often have conversations about how we think that perhaps they have cures or they have an idea of how to cure certain things, but they don't because the money is too good. Um, you know, if there's not enough money, they're going to deny. You know, if they feel like their procedure is going to cut into their bottom line, they're going to deny. They'll let you pass on. You know, with insurance. So there's like big business in general um hasn't exactly how do I put it ingratiated themselves as of late. Um, Starting, you know, even not talking, you know, just going outside the healthcare, you know, big pharma, just uh, business in general saw an opportunity to raise prices on the greater community around them and gash them, price gouge, um, which was something that was discussed. So we all knew that there was price gouging going on, and the people tasked with regulating that kind of thing never really took care of it. Um, you know, you see two sides of a two sides of a battle brewing over DEI and Walmart, another big company. You know, people have always had problems with like Comcast. Um, and I think what the problem is while we're not supposed to have monopolies, they've found a way to have monopolies and not be able to be challenged because of the way that it's presented. So um, this whole situation that we seeing with this CEO here, let's see here. I don't want to. I don't. I want to. You know. I don't want to. not give the man a name. His name was Brian Thompson. Um, this is like one of those results of capitalism that they try to skip out talking about the way that you can easily get left behind. Um, you can easily be broken. It is a very unforgiving. It's a very unforgiving program. Capitalism. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to always move forward. You have to be able to fight a little bit. You have to have capital in order to gain more capital. And sometimes you get to the point where you run out of capital. It's probably sort of like the guy who pulled this crime off and they still haven't found him yet. Not that I know of. I haven't seen it. Um, I know that they said the bullets had words wrote on them, and I wrote them in big letters. I wrote them in large letters on my planning board because they were just kind of that it just I don't know, man. It paints a picture of the person behind the trigger. The three words were deny, defend, and dispose. Uh, and from what I've been reading, that's a common practice. Uh, help deny you the care you need. They defend the fact that they deny with all kind of weird reasoning and um, justifications, and then they dispose of you. And then once they say no, there's like nothing else you can do. You know what I'm saying? You kind of stuck with your position, and it's not that they can't do the things that they don't. It's not that they don't have the ability to take care of you. They just don't. You don't have the capital that they want in order to take care of you. See, I got lucky and got you know some decent insurance, which pretty much covers most of my covers all of everything. And trust me, they make sure they get their money's worth because I go through so many useless tests. Some of these tests I done went through twice, and I'm like, okay, you gave it to me the first time, and I didn't get anything from you, so now you give it to me again, and then the second time I don't get anything from you. Sending me to different specialists and stuff, and I had a specialist come in the room, and I think I saw him for all of 2 minutes, and he just kind of, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, go ahead and do this, this, and this, and then he walked out the room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the healthcare industry is very impersonal, which I find to be weird as well because you're dealing with wellness here. So how can you be dealing with wellness and try to do it on an impersonal level like that? You know what I'm saying? So you have all kind of weird working components that go on in these places on top of what capitalism does. You have your level of racism, you have your level of sexism that goes on in these places. They go on with the patients and the staff and the patient's family. So nobody is like nobody gets away from any of this stuff. And it's very. I've also worked in two hospitals in my life. I worked in Vanderbilt and I worked in one where I'm at now. I won't mention it because I don't want anybody to know where the hell I'm at. But I could talk about Vanderbilt, and dealing with the staff. They're very impersonal people. Um, Doctors almost can sometimes come off as evil. Nurses, overworked people. That they are. They got a bad reputation. So it's just not even. It's not even just on um a level of like in the office with the suits. It's the people on the ground. So your whole experience can really be souring. It probably will be because it's so many people who work within this industry. While there are a lot of good people, they're not concentrated in one place. That's definitely not going on. While you might have two, three, four good people, you have just as many horrible people, or even more sometimes. So it's you know, um, it's a lot of like I said, it's a lot of moving compartments to that that would probably cause a person to perhaps um lose it. You know that movie with Denzel Washington, I think it was called John Q. That's if you were ever if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. This that movie came out like a long ass time ago, and it's still. As a matter of fact, it's worse now. You know, one of the wilder things, if you think about it, is that we have uh, we are part of a number of we are a part of a number of what is going on here. We are a part of a number of we have a number of allies. Let me put it that way. We have a number of allies who provide health care to their citizens free of charge, at least basic health care. We probably the only ones out of the civilized bunch that won't do it. And see, first I think it used to be because they didn't want everybody here to have access to health care. Yeah, that probably was it. That's where it started at. But I think the reason that now is there's way too much money in it being privatized instead of having some kind of public option or even universal health care. Um, it the insurance companies would take a huge loss. So the racist component of it doesn't even matter. It's because now they don't move past that. You know what I'm saying? That's they move past that because they got all type of people that work there. Now they just do it through through money means, through you know, um through class on top of the race shit. And with class being added, um you able to affect an even larger crowd of people negatively. So is I think that's where we kind of ending up with that. But I got here is a video and a little read. Say the read is 1 minute, so we're gonna read it first, and then we'll watch the video that's attached to it. Oh my goodness! So we're gonna turn that one on. Gonna turn this one off. And gonna turn that off. All right. So we might rock it like this for the rest of the night, man. Um, let's see here what we got. I want to do that. Yeah. So to say the story is by Josephine Harvey. Bullets used to kill United Healthcare CEO reportedly had words found on them. So shell cases recovered at the scene of the fatal unaliving of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson had the words "deny, defend, and dispose" found on them. Law enforcement told ABC and NBC News. The words were reportedly discovered by detectives on the cases at the scene of the crime outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. ABC News was the first to report the development. Thompson, 50, was shot there shortly before 7 a.m. on Wednesday in what New York City Police Department called a premeditated, pre-planned, and targeted hit. Authorities still had not apprehended the shooter as of Thursday morning. The suspect was last seen biking through Central Park. In footage from the scene, the shooter is seen approaching Thompson from behind on the sidewalk and opening fire. Thompson was en route to speak at United Health Group's investor conference in New York City when he was shot. His wife, Paulette Thompson, told NBC News that he had been receiving some threats, but she didn't know the details. Police said in a press conference Wednesday that the motive for the killing was not yet known. Brian Thompson lived in Minnesota and, according to the company's website, has been the CEO of United Healthcare since April 2021. So, like I said, CEO Thompson was just the latest in line of faces um, to the machine. And he just happened to be the one person who probably paid for whatever everybody else had been doing before he got there. Not to say that he had any plans to change what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So he just was there to continue it because whoever was there before him had gotten their fair share and they moved on. But like I said, United is having a lot of problems. I might have to see if that is the same one that was having all those breaches here where I'm at. And like I said, I will tell you I'm in Michigan, so I know a lot of hospitals here had kind of dropped them from their coverage, if I'm understanding correctly. I wish Short Lady was down here. She'll be able to tell me if I was correct or not. But yeah, it's very. This is some crazy stuff. The other thing that I wanted to touch on was how many people do you think were involved in this? Because he didn't. He couldn't. The way that he's not being found, okay, lets me know that there's some people who are involved, more than one, and it might be some of that man competition. I'm telling you, when this story breaks, because it's gonna break eventually, because unless everybody involved is just stone cold faced and they just then it turns into one of these mystery things. But the way that the internet works, it's hard to kind of keep shit like that secret for too long. Somebody always slips up somewhere. Is I'm kind of surprised that they even had a video that showed his face a bit, and they show his face a little bit, and nobody said, "Hey, man, I recognize that guy." So, yeah, let's see. I think I got this. Let's see what this video is gonna say. It's somewhere. Is this it right here? I do believe this is it. All right. So I'm gonna unmute it. Fair use. I ain't trying to, do nothing but share a little news, y'all. That's it.
A healthcare CEO gunned down while on a business trip in New York City. Police are calling it a targeted attack, and a manhunt is now underway for the shooter. Connor Hansen has the details from Midtown Manhattan.
A shocking murder here on the street in busy Midtown Manhattan. Investigators are still surrounding this Hilton hotel and searching for the suspect in what they're calling a targeted killing. An all-out manhunt Wednesday in New York City for the suspect who gunned down the CEO of United Healthcare. Brian Thompson was shot and killed outside a hotel where he was set to speak to investors.
I want to be clear. At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
Police say a masked gunman shot Thompson in the back before fleeing on foot and then riding an electric bike to nearby Central Park. The 50-year-old executive was rushed to a nearby hospital but did not survive. The NYPD says it doesn't have a clear motive for the shooting.
It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds.
Police say the gun jammed before the suspect cleared it and started firing again.
At the scene, we recover 3 live 9mm rounds and 3 discharged 9mm shell casings.
We have the drones up, we have aviation out, we have K9 out.
Thompson did not have a security detail with him, and his wife told NBC News he previously received threats but did not alter his travel plans. This shooting happened just blocks away from Rockefeller Center, where thousands gather to watch the annual Christmas tree lighting. Police say that event will go on as planned with a heavy NYPD presence.
All
In
right.
New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 13 News.
A healthcare CEO gunned down while on a business trip in New York City. Police are calling it a targeted attack, and a manhunt is now underway for the shooter.
All right, man. Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, you got to tell. So, this guy, okay, he does what he does. Um, and he gets, yes, I'm using the ad blocker. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how he was able to get away, man. I just find that, I don't know. That's crazy. That let me know that he ain't by himself, and he probably it seemed like it's some kind of professional stuff going on here, man. Where yeah, it was some planning and execution, man. And I'm really curious as to what the motivation was behind all of this, um, and the way that he was able to, and the way that they were able to pull this off. It's just like he did it, and it was in the broad. It was like early in the morning, people up and around. It's in a business district, and how he was just able to just casually ride off and disappear into the park. Or did he really disappear into the park? So they got all these dogs and canines. I mean, dogs are canines. I'm sorry, but dogs and helicopters and all of this stuff, and they can't find my guy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I wonder who, one person or what group of people, was he working with? Gotta wonder that, man. Gotta wonder that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I want to read this. Uh, so it says, who was Brian Thompson? So he was a 50-year-old chief executive officer of United Healthcare, based in Maple Grove, Minnesota. I'm familiar with that place. Thompson was named CEO in April 2021, having joined the company in 2004. According to his LinkedIn profile, he previously served as manager at PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP before signing on with United as director of corporate development. See, because it could be from any number of things. This might not even have. Well, it probably does because of the bullets, but maybe it's some people from some other place that has something else to do with that too. Who knows? Because I'm not sure what that business is, if they have anything to do with the medical industry. But all I know is, um, this happening is probably going to, put a lot of things in perspective, um, for a lot of people in a few areas. And um, if you think these guys were hyper vigilant before and very suspicious of the broader public to the point that they don't like us, just watch how they ramp it up now. This is we got a lot of man. There's so much stuff going on around us right now, man. You know, it's you know, it's kind of like everything's being shaken up. You know, but excuse me. Uh, said he had multiple leadership positions in his time with the company, having last held the title of Chief Executive Officer of Government Programs, including overseeing the company's Medicare and retirement community and state businesses. In his current position, Thompson managed the healthcare benefits business of the company. So it sounds like he was in. So maybe he was in charge of saying yes or no or some stuff, and he said no to something that, and somebody lost somebody. Somebody lost a person that's important to him, and they lost a person that was important to him, and of course, companies don't have feelings, and the people inside of the companies aren't required to have feelings. Not saying that is right, but that's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Um, so he graduated from the University of Iowa in 1997 with a bachelor's degree in business administration and accounting. He is survived by two sons and a wife. She's a physical therapist for 20 years, and she graduated from the same college as he did. United Health it's one of the largest healthcare companies, and it provides health insurance, pharmacy benefits, and healthcare services. It's a healthcare insurance unit. United Healthcare provides coverage for more than 29 million U.S. individuals. In 2024, United Healthcare ranked number 8 on the Fortune Global 500, and its parent company, United Health Group, employs 439,000 people, generating $379.5 billion in revenue in 2024. So, they making big money, you know what I'm saying? At least they were. You have to, like I said, man, I'm not sure about what's going on with that whole thing over there, man. It just sounds like a lot, you know. Just sounds like a lot. And we can't do anything but wait around to see what's going to happen. See who's going to emerge as a prime suspect if one emerges. You have to count on someone being told on, man. I think that's the only way we're gonna figure this out, because if he didn't leave you any trails, you don't even have any clue. I haven't seen anything that say they had any clue about it. He was already being threatened. So if he was already being threatened and they had an idea of that, then they probably could put it out. So this person that you see right here on the screen, right here, was able to just casually walk up. This man right here, that nobody knows who he is. You can see his face clear as day. Nobody know him. So it's fishy, man. Fishy to say the least, man. You never know, because that's a cutthroat world over there. I never really had a desire to be in the corporate world, man. It just seems like it's a tough draw. But R.I.P. the dude, man. Hate that had to happen to him, man. I really don't want to see nobody lose their life over their work, man. He might not even. He doesn't sound like he was exactly a bad guy, personally, but maybe business wise, he wasn't a part of the best set of people. I know my grandma used to tell me, gotta watch who you hang around with. Their trouble become yours, man. So that's kind of what you have to, it's kind of what you, this kind of the gist of it is. United Healthcare, their trouble became Mr. Thompson's trouble. Ooh, we spent 49 minutes talking about that guy, but I had another. So we're gonna talk about Diddy, man, a little bit. Cause I've been doing a lot of political stuff, man. I just wanted to take a break from that today. Probably get back on it Monday. Got some homework things to do this weekend. End of the semester though, so I'm kind of hyped, man. I get a couple of weeks off until class begins again in January. Then I only got like a couple of semesters left before I get out of that. Before I'm done with that portion, I'll probably be going back for a little more. Really don't want to, but gotta have all of the everything backing you now, man, because it's gonna get tough out here as far as employment and all of that. So you want to give yourself some kind of skills, especially I'm going for cybersecurity, which is really, really starting to emerge as a market that's in need of people. So I would encourage you to look into it. It's kind of challenging. Some of the stuff is, but as it with anything, you do a lot of repetition, and it starts to become kind of second nature. The one thing I be struggling with are my IP addresses. I think once I get that stuff down, man, I'll be in there. Um, but yeah, I actually have to repeat a class that I got a C minus in that I needed a C in order to get out of my program, and that is the only class that I got a C in. I've been an A student except for that class with those damn IP addresses. Uh, um, it's even hard to explain what it is, but I was going through some stuff medically, and it was just really hard to get into it and pay attention. I feel a lot better now. I'm a lot more alert than I was back then, so I think I'll be okay. But anyway, man, let's get on to Diddy, man. I, I'm kind of conflicted about what goes on with it. I need a new boom arm. This damn thing, man. I'm kind of conflicted of what to think about the situation with this guy. Because now, if all of these charges, as far as trafficking and all that wild stuff that you forcing people to do shit that they don't want to do, all of that. Yeah, if you're doing all that, man, they need to get you up off the street. But if you're having consensual sex parties, in a sense, um, I'm not sure about how much of that can be considered criminal. Now, if you're doing criminal things within the confines of that, then yeah, you deserve to go to jail. But so apparently he had a run in with Brandy. I just kind of ran across this today. So we just gonna read on it a little bit, maybe expound a bit on it. Let's see here. There's a lot of people connected to this guy, man. Um, it's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays out too, because they gave the guy, I think, went from Abercrombie and Finch, the same court system over there in New York, let this guy get bail and go and chill at home, but for some reason they telling Puffy he can't get bail. Um, and the thing is everybody knows for sure that this other guy did these things. So he should be sitting right in there with him too. But I think it comes down to the fact of when you have things that happen to males versus females, the punishments are going to be dealt out a little differently. People tend not to be as upset about guys having things happen to them as they do about women, because they kind of feel like guys should be in a position to protect themselves, which is not always the case, because these were young guys, impressionable. They probably being drugged or whatever, the same way that things happen to women. But the severity of punishments and stuff, uh, it's always gonna be different. But let's get into this. Let's get into this right quick. So it seems like every other week since Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested and charged with trafficking and racketeering, a video of him resurfaced that gets viewed with a new perspective. Most recently, a clip of him appearing on a Rosie O'Donnell show in 1997 has come to light. While it had also emerged what Diddy will be having for dinner on Christmas in jail. During his sit down with Rosie, he seemed like he was trying not to reveal too much when a comedian talk show host brought up R&B superstar Brandy Norwood, an artist he's produced for. Rosie revealed that the "Sitting Up in My Room" songstress had a crush on Diddy. At the time of the interview, Brandy was 18 and Diddy was 28. Did you know Brandy had such a crush on you? Rosie asked Diddy before she shared Brandy's revelation about him. Excuse me. Brandy said she could hardly look at you when you walked in the room and she had to take a nap, Rosie told Diddy, causing him to giggle. The Bad Boys record founder admitted that he figured out there kind was a problem with Brandy when they were working in the studio together. I think they kind of. Um, yeah, so whenever I worked with her, she wouldn't let me in the room when I worked with her, Diddy remarked to Rosie. He added that he wouldn't know what working with Brandy actually was like because the distance she kept from him. A lot of people ask me how was it to work with Brandy, and I say I wouldn't really know because she never let me in the room when she would sing her vocals. Diddy revealed. Almost 3 decades later, Diddy's appearance on Rosie's Then Talk Show, he is currently being held without bail at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. Um, it says there that he's been denied bail 3 times. Um, they said he was like a leader of a dangerous sex cult, so he needs to stay in jail. Uh, while I say, while I say this whole situation is unfortunate for the victims, really because a lot of the as usual, a lot of the attention isn't on them and getting them healed and together and feeling better about themselves and feeling safe again um and being in a place where they don't have to constantly be reminded that this guy is somewhere floating around that did all these things to them, right? Because they're constantly flashing them on TV and um even people like me talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Um, but for people to start like kind of trying to associate every story that they hear about this man to whatever it is that he got going on now, um, it's wild because if I'm reading this correctly, she had a crush on him, which means she was shy. Which means when he tried to see her sing, the guy that she has a crush on is she's shy. She don't want to mess up in front of him. She have a crush on him. She might look at him and she might lose herself. She might mess up. Um, I don't until she comes out and says, yeah, that's why I didn't let him in the room is because he was a creep. I'm going to assume that what Rosie O'Donnell and PDD talked about was some little girl having a crush on a grown ass man and didn't know how to handle it. Now that's not denying the fact that Diddy did some shit because I've been hearing about Diddy um ever since the mid '90s. I graduated in '96. I'm telling y'all my age. I moved out to the East Coast when I was like 18. I lived on the East Coast for like 10 years, and he was always the subject of conversation out there in his parties and his antics. And, a bunch of other stuff about him was always floating around. So I've always had knowledge of him being this pervy dude. Because that's what most of the the rumors were about him being a little nasty dude. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but like I said, man, if you could turn around and give this other guy bail, you could probably get him bail. What's to say that? Well, so why is it this other guy being seen as a sex cult leader when basically he was doing just about the same thing? And see, this is why people have such a problem with the system. This is why you have people that always call stuff out like racism and all this stuff because it's just be wrong. Diddy wrong for doing what he doing, right? But then you said if you gonna set the precedent that you're gonna let people out that do these things, that you can't get to him and say him being a cult leader is any different than this other guy being the type of cult leader that he is. Like I said, I think it all boils down to was the group affected. One person affected women in large. One group affected men in large. Okay, so while you know it's I hate to say that people don't really care about the fate of a lot of men. They don't. Women, on the other hand, they're cared for in that manner. What happens to them, people care about that. What happens to them, if it's bad, people don't want bad things to happen to women. And personally, for men, you have people personally in your life that want things that don't want things to happen to you. But when you start talking about the general public, they don't really give a damn about anything happening to you as a man. They show that every day. I can do a whole show on just comments and stories and whatever and posts and whatever memes of that to show you that. Um, so, but I do want to see what really happened, because it's why they got stuff of him doing shit on tape. My thing is, if you had this man on tape doing what he did, whenever, why y'all didn't take care of it then? Why are you gonna bring it out? Okay, um, the way that they raided his house, all that stuff was it's it's something else behind that too. That's why I call this the unhealthy episode, because it's a lot of weird, unhealthy shit going on underneath the surface in a few places with a few people. Um, Diddy being one of them. And the other thing too is, while I keep hearing all of these speculations, I still have yet to see them bring uh, some kind of concrete something. Now they showed us with the Cassie. We had the DJ guy with his story. We have Jaguar Wright telling her stories about him. We have a bunch of people saying things, but we have to see about what kind of concrete information is brought out about this guy. Even though, like I said, man, I've been hearing about this dude being wild as hell for like years. So it ain't. This is nothing new. Like he's this is his reputation. This ain't something new. Nobody. This is the stuff that people. Well, it's stuff that a lot of people are just finding out about. But then there are there's a set of people who've always known about this stuff, or have always had an idea. You can't say that you know because nobody know yet. But there's always an idea. Um, that the diddler was who the diddler is. So, whew, well, I said I wasn't gonna stay on too late tonight. Uh, I'm kind of I wanted to talk about the Will Smith story, but then when I read it again, so everybody already knew about him and his bodyguard putting him out there about him and the other guy. He walking in on him and all this stuff, but um, I think it's what can happen. I think what's probably gonna happen is there are gonna be some people get taken down with him because, like I said about the United Healthcare thing, man, he ain't working by himself to get all that stuff done. He ain't doing all that stuff on his own. He ain't doing all that stuff on his own. He got help. He definitely got help. So, one of the last things I wanted to touch on today, just quickly, just like some kind of just some stuff that you may have not heard about. But they had a earthquake, and they shout out to the people in California dodging that bullet. You almost had you had a tsunami warning. They had a 7.0 earthquake right off the coast of California. I want to say that was yesterday, maybe the day before. Cause like I said, man, there's so much stuff going on that we don't even get to hear about stuff like this right here. Um, and then you got to think about the way that tragedy has been handled here. Uh, I read a story that I thought I saw a story the other day. I have to go try to look it up of people having to live in tents after this hurricane. Now the wild thing to me is those people haven't been spoken about. The people in Hawaii, remember the fires in Hawaii? they didn't get spoken about again. They were a hot topic for about a week, and then when everybody found out how inept the government was about their responses, then all of a sudden they quit reporting because there's nothing good happening there. Because trust me, if there was something good happening in those places, we would be hearing about it. These people lucky. These people are very lucky because a tsunami that maybe comes from a 7.0 is not going to be a small wave, and it could really do a lot of damage. And then now you gotta then now you have to rely on somebody like Gavin Newsom. I said I wasn't gonna get into no politics today, but it's almost inevitable, man. Um, uh, but yeah, that's wild that we almost had that happen on top of everything else. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the mayhem that would have went about that would have been brought about from a large tsunami hitting the coast of California? That's divine intervention right there. I don't see it as nothing else. They must got big. The universe must got big plans for Cali and them people because that's just luck. But yeah, you have to think about the. I just wanted to bring that up because I was thinking about the fact that if that had hit, we haven't even taken care of the people in North Carolina or Florida, like I said, or I think the people in Hawaii still going through what they're going through. Those people out there where that train fell over at, they didn't take care of that. They kind of left them with that too. Um, all of that stuff is that capitalism coming into play, man. If they can't make any money from this stuff, man, if it comes down to I have to give you more than I can take from this, then we won't do anything at all. Like the 2020 thing is just like if they could have did it and not done anything for anybody and still charged everybody for rent, even though telling you can't go outside, they could have found a way to do that. They would have done that. They wanted to do that because we have the people that we have in charge, man. You once people as a collective understand that they don't really care about nobody. Some of this other stuff that we be going back and forth about, we're gonna go on a back burner for a little while, and the focus is gonna be on them. But then again, this is why controversy be bubbling up the way it do, like it do. This is why stuff gets memory hold. They're trying to change the subject on you so much because they gotta keep you. They're gonna keep you in a constant rage, but it's gonna be a confused rage because they're gonna keep changing on you. They're gonna keep changing the subject, giving you new shit to be mad about. You can't even concentrate on the last thing you was mad about. You know what I'm saying? You can't even concentrate on other problems before they present new ones. So it's just like a constant harassment and bombardment of just misery from people with a mic and a large crowd, and they got vested interests in other people, or other people have vested interest in them. Yeah, all of it. You know what I'm saying? All of it. But I just wanted to give me a little time in here on this mic, man. Trying to get used to doing this. Trying to get a little more organized with stories so I can have a little longer format, so I can try to chop these videos up into segments and move them to the second channel. I think I'm gonna keep doing my live streams here, and then just kind of have my static videos on another channel because I kind of want to do that because I said this was a podcast and music channel, so that's what I want to do here. We didn't get a. It's kind of weird how this stuff works because I see that I have people watching. Sometimes I see comments, but here on my program that I'm using, none of those things show up, and there's definitely not anything here helping that move along. See, took me to a live dashboard. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Well, it's time for me to get on anyway, man. Let's get this. Gonna try to close this thing out. All right, there we go. Yeah, man, it's um I feel bad for that guy from United though. I like I said, I'm you never gonna catch me celebrating somebody's death. Um, some people might have it coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna deny the fact that some people have done things that if death did come and visit them, um, it was it was probably because it was supposed to be there. But I cannot find myself at least in a situation like this applauding somebody's death. I done seen some real foul stuff said too. Um, we in a weird place in the country right now where um where we losing like friendliness at a rapid pace. And it's because so many people miserable, man. There's so much stuff going on. Like people being affected by a lot of shit, man. But the thing is, they're being affected by a lot of shit, but it's only coming from a few sources. So you got these repeated sources, just repeated. They just repeatedly doing shit to you, repeatedly doing shit to people for the sake of the dollar. Um, so that's what I said. Capitalism doesn't allow for feelings. Um, this is how they were able to do Citizens United and tell you that a company, their money is like a person. Their money is their speech. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. And the only reason why we can't get rid of it is because they pay to keep it there. You will never get a pack of the people because people can't get along. You know what I'm saying? That's something else that they make sure they do is they keep us they keep division highlighted because you're not gonna get rid of division. I mean, you might be able to reduce it, but like there's always gonna be a set of people who don't want to be connected to other people. So division is always gonna be something that exists in one form or another. Um, what probably can happen is if it didn't get highlighted so much, you know, or you stop. We see we see other people shown in a light that's negative. You know what I'm saying? So you got that happens. So it's a stuff that happens. Maybe we can fix it, but I doubt it. I don't think so. Um, I don't think none of this stuff is gonna be fixed. We just gonna have to ride it out and see how this stuff ends. You know, maybe a lot of people gonna end up relocating to other places. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the experiment is at the end. This experiment that we doing here. Because like I'm just trying to figure out where we gonna go to. Like what's gonna be the direction. You know what I'm saying? Like uh how we gonna even be how we even gonna be trying to repair anything really? This shit's like way too broken. You won't it's not gonna be fixed. You're gonna have to like implement something completely new. And I don't really know how you're gonna do that either. Um Everybody kind of got painted into a corner together. Everybody wishing for stuff to come back and go back to a certain way, and it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because once a profit is made off of some shit, brother, it ain't no going back. They making profit off of everything. They making profit off of misery. You know what I'm saying? Like United Healthcare making profit off of people's misery. people pay insurance. It's not cheap. And then you come up with a disease or something, or you got a situation, and they look you in your face and say, "Yeah, we know you've been paying, but we're not going to help you fix that." Or you get stuck with incompetence, incompetent doctors, incompetent nurses, or uncaring, like people that just don't care. I'm just here for a check. You know, uh, or impersonal. Like my last doctor visit was very impersonal. My regular physician, I like my regular physician. Old black guy, remind me of Bill Cosby. Real cool dude. But he sent me to another specialist for something that I'm going through, and it just I left out of that not knowing whether I was okay. He said I was okay, but I know how I feel. I know what's going on with me. He never asked any of that stuff. So people go through things where they be saying, well, they told me for months they couldn't find anything. I had to go through X amount of physicians and doctors and go to all these places to figure out because I know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the place that I am in my health care journey is I know it's something there. I keep getting told that we don't really know what it is. We don't really see. We know it's a problem, but we don't really see it. We got readings because they tell you stuff that like, yeah, you're all right. It's satisfactory. Satisfactory don't mean you good. Satisfactory mean you just crossed the line. They tell you stuff like that and then expect for you to be okay with that answer. So it's like it's a whole. I don't condone it, but I could see why somebody would take the route that they took. It's a frustration thing. Why you shouldn't allow yourself to become that frustrated with your situation. Everybody's not capable of fighting through that. Some people don't grow in that manner. But then again, we don't know what that guy was involved in because it seemed like that was a professional hit. So what was going on? A lot of people like, I think that was a disgruntled so and so. I don't know. I don't know. It was deliberate, whatever it was. You write on bullets. You write on bullets. That wasn't no spur of the moment thing. That was well planned and orchestrated. Those were meant for him. Maybe not him, or maybe it was just meant for somebody, whoever they caught out there that day that they knew was going to that place. But then again, they knew him personally. He had already been getting threats. So you have to start thinking about if this man had gotten threats and he's this important CEO, why hadn't they blessed that man with a security detail? See, it's a lot of stuff that's just, it's a lot of stuff, man. It is. You know, maybe we'll hear about him maybe having some kind of financial trouble or something like, but none of that stuff come up. So you just, but sometimes we get these things and they don't never get solved and they just become some weird internet mystery or whatever. People never get to the bottom of it, and it just kind of float around and doesn't get solved. So but anyway, man, I hope y'all enjoy y'all night, man. If you run across this live stream, man, you stuck around with my boring ass up to this point, hit that like button, subscribe or something. Uh, give me more reason to keep coming back on. But yeah, y'all enjoy y'all night. I'm about to. It's hot as hell in here, man. I gotta go turn off my space heater. I'm about to melt. I'll holler at y'all though.